as well. In terms of getting the physicals into dollars and kina and all that, you can see that in the last 40 years, we've contributed 13.9 billion to the shareholders. 11.3 billion we paid in taxes and duties. Of that, 6 billion we paid in company income tax. And, you know, if you look at that, every business every producer, service provider, developer has an obligation to pay the company income tax. How yours is structured, I wouldn't know, but there's an obligation piece that we all must pay. 2 billion in the last 40 years we've paid in salaries and wages. Out of those 2 billion, we've employed in excess of 30 to 40,000 people. 1.1 billion we've paid as compensation payments to the CMCA communities, of which comes in cash and projects. 1.7 billion was generated as payments for general compensation, and 1.5 billion in royalties at 2%, which is then split 50-50 between the SML villages and the provincial government. So far, we've spent 872 million plus, and it's climbing, in infrastructure tax credit scheme. It used to be at 0.75. With the current government under Prime Minister Margaret, the change was done so we can spend 2% of entitled credits on infrastructure within the province and outside of the province. So by guidelines, 1% is spent within the province, 1% is spent outside of the province in other parts of PNG. So you can see that we spend a lot of money. We need to recognize that money on the ground. So 40 years, social sustainability. When we started in 1994, we introduced dredging in 1997 to address the sedimentation buildup and the silt buildup. Not only that, but to manage gravel that was going down as well. So the amount of environmental mitigation and controls that has been put in place has been a success. Hence, an award that was recognized last night by the Prime Minister for how we've managed BK operations, which is a byproduct of what comes out of OK TEDI. OK TEDI was given the Outstanding Environment and Climate Change Initiative award. So thank you, team OK TEDI and BK. Now, due to the extension of the mine life, which if you were here last year, I mentioned that we would go up 2050. Now, along the way, we've done further studies. Certainly, we can go 2050 plus. And so, there are two conditions linked to that, which is to do with managing the environment. One is a TSF, tailings facility, that we need to build, which will be built in 2027. We're now going through the regulatory process to get that in place. Which once built, all the mill tailings will be able to capture that. Now, fast track to 2024, how well have we done? So, to the trustee shareholder and to the governor of Western Province, your business has done very, very well on behalf of PNG and Western Province. In the last 18 months, we've been very, very, very diligent at ensuring the performance of our operations across the entire business withstood the issues that we faced. So, come end of the year, we will have produced 103 kilotons of copper. And for those who are interested, copper recovery is sitting around 90 at the moment. So if Jerry is in the room, you can use that number for your speeds. 260,000 ounces of gold and 967 ounces of silver. Again, gold recovery is climbing, and it will after completed what we said we would do. So very good times at OK TEDI. Let's fast track that. Before we fast track it, $1.5 billion we will generate. Last year I said we will generate 1.1. It's gone beyond that. Out of that, we've been able to declare dividends as well for the shareholders. 450 million kina for dividends. Local and national content. I'll just quickly run through. 2-3 weeks ago, the Chancellor cruiser arrived in Telefomin. That's because of the road that's being built between Tabuwil and also to Telefomin, eventually to Oksamin and to Lake Kobiago in the Hela province. So thank you for the 2% credit that was given, and thank you to the Prime Minister, and thank you to the past members and Governor Yoto and Solon Mirishi for pushing this road. 3 years time we should see Western Province get connected.